All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Discovering Multifamily podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Anthony Scandariato with Red Knight Properties. And today we have a special guest here with us, Bob Lachance. And did I say that right?
You said it perfect. Said it
Said it
perfect.
perfect. All right. I know we went over it before, but just wanted to make sure. And Bob is a nationally recognized speaker, mentor, and trainer who specializes in helping customers build their business through automation and outsourcing. He currently owns four businesses and helped start one of the nation's largest real estate coaching programs. He's from Connecticut. He's a former hockey player, and you know, now moving forward, he's been involved in real estate and had a bunch of properties that he's flipped. He's done over 1,500 transactions over the past decade, and now he's focusing on coaching and virtual assistant staffing for real estate companies. Specifically, he's the owner of REVA Global LLC. That's REVA Global. You can check him out at revaglobal.com, REVA. Today, we're going to talk about what virtual assistants are, how they're beneficial to helping you grow your real estate business, whether you're doing your own deals or bringing in outside partners to help you fund your deals, or in pretty much any capacity to grow your real estate business. Bob's kind of seen it all. We're going to talk about what virtual assistants are, but like we said, Bob's focused on the real estate industry, how to make real estate professionals more successful by doing more while working less with virtual assistants. So I think that's going to be the topic for today's discussion. If that works for you, Bob.
Perfect. Perfect. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, what is a VA? How can I've seen a lot of people start out in the real estate business, whether they're focusing on multifamily or industrial real estate or residential real estate, and they try to outsource everything they can as quickly as possible to a virtual assistant, and then they end up firing them within the month just because it doesn't work out. How can you kind of help people who are looking to start their business, and then maybe for more the experienced real estate operators or business owners here, how can they feel comfortable to bring on a virtual assistant? Because a lot of them, even I've found, aren't really specialized and trained for the niche industry and the service that we're trying to provide. So I guess, how do you find your VAs, and what's your company about? How can they help?
Yeah, it's funny. You nailed it though. It's and one of the things I highly recommend is be very clear on what you want a virtual assistant to do, right? You get investors that come over and say, all right, well, I want my VA to do 9,000 things. And if you're going to hire someone in your own office here in the United States, I'm in Connecticut, you're in New Jersey, we're right next to each other. We would set them up for failure as well. If we have them come in our office, we want them to do 9,000 things. You start to look at different profiles, whether it's, you take disc profiling or predictive indexing, whatever you do, there's nobody that is great in everything, right? Same thing with sports in the background. Guess what? You're either fantastic offensively, fantastic defensively, right? There's usually not that one individual that is the best at everything. That's typically how it goes. You might get one outlier, right? But one of the things so we'll take a step back into that. One thing I highly recommend, if you're looking for, let's use a property manager as an example. If you're looking to relieve some pressure of you managing and you getting calls from tenants, you getting calls from other owners that actually own these units, and you're actually managing them, guess what? Then that's step one. The task number one is you want to make sure that those phone calls don't go to you, right? So now those calls will be going to a virtual assistant. That's step number one. Step number two, if you also want to do, let's say, leasing, tenant screening, those are task specific that you want your virtual assistant to do. So to your case in point, I 100% agree with you. The reason why people have challenges at the beginning is because they're not extremely clear on what they want that virtual assistant to do. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. So how are they few and far between? You mentioned a few
Yep.
areas like tenant screening, property management, some of the, phone calls coming in from
Yeah.
tenants. Um, you know, I guess I hear a lot of people, especially when they're starting out, oh, I don't have the scale to afford a VA yet.
Yeah.
What do you say to that audience?
So if someone can't afford, so here's the way I look at it. When I look at my own office here, minimum wage to hire somebody here. I don't know what it is in New Jersey right now, but I know it's going up. In Connecticut, it seems to be going up every single day. California, I think it's at $15, right? So for me personally here in Connecticut, to hire someone with a 4-year college degree, it's gonna be very, very difficult. I'm gonna be paying them, 60, 70, 80, $90,000 a year, where a virtual assistant is just a standard 1060. They have a 4-year college degree. All the individuals that we do. So we have just a 2-second rundown, Anthony, of our company. They're all out of the Philippines. So I have an office here in Connecticut, and I also have an office in the Philippines. So we have a recruiting team over in the Philippines. We have a training team, a placements team, operations team, accounting, HR, etc. So we have our team built out over in the Philippines, and we screen thousands of applications every single month to weed through all of the best of the best. So just like everything here, right? You have to go through a lot of applications to get the best.
Sure. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So
Yep.
in terms of your business, I mean, you've done over 1,500 transactions. How do particularly use your VAs? And, when you hire your VAs in the Philippines, there's obviously might be a little bit of a language barrier, but maybe not. Is there any challenges to that? And then also with retention, when you hire a VA, are they likely to stay, or do they kind of bounce around? Or maybe this is a part-time, you hire them part-time and they work for somebody else part-time, and it just kind of cycles that way. How do you best utilize your VAs? Like you mentioned, it's hard to find somebody domestically for the type of work you're looking to have for your business.
So I started my first company back in 2014. So we've done a very good job of building a great culture in the Philippines. Just so everybody knows, that English is one of their main languages over there. So it's so the English barrier, it's fantastic, and we pre-screen through that with our sourcing and recruiting team. We already pre-screen all of our virtual assistants to make sure when they come out the other end and they go through training, that they already pass all of our tests, our 4-point proficiency tests, etc. So we do take care of all of that heavy lifting for you. Again, we've tested all of the different models, and the best model for us is we offer part-time and full-time. So it's either 20 hours a week and 40 hours a week. So just like you said, we have we have property managers that use our service, real estate agents, real estate investors, individuals that raise money as well, going out to joining all LinkedIn groups, joining all Facebook groups, and looking, because I know you do syndications. That's one of the things that would helps out some of the individuals that use our service. When we go to look for individuals with money and building a list, and then starting that whole process on that side of it. I've done I have 2 syndications out of Texas right now as well. So I jumped in that space. A lot of stuff that I do in my office on the real estate investing side, it is mostly on the residential side, where then I take that profit and I do dump them into syndication. So a lot of what you do, I'm one of the guys that'll be on that list that a VA will build, and you'll be reaching out to me to invest in your syndication properties. You guys have a phenomenal portfolio. I was just checking it out. So great stuff there.
Yeah. So in terms of when companies looking to hire a VA and make that decision, how long does the onboarding process take with using, a company like ours as an example?
Absolutely.
And then, is there a period where it's almost like a trial, just like with any type of employment, there's a trial period for whatever, 3 months, let's just say, and if it doesn't work out, and then you might have to go in a different direction. What have you seen most common when, the hiring process starts to take place? And then also when you hire somebody, a lot of the smaller to mid-sized firms may not have a human resources department. So how do you manage, the quality control that's coming out of your virtual assistants?
Yeah, we handle all that for everybody on that side of it. So, for instance, if you're interested in a virtual assistant, what we do is we put together 3 different individuals and put them in front of you. So you don't have to, first of all, we'll get all the tasks that you're looking to do, and then we'll do predictive indexing. We'll do disc profiling. So it's kind of like Match.com. We'll match up the virtual assistant with the type of skills that you're looking for. So, I mean, if you're looking for an admin VA, it's going to be different than someone you want on the phones. Total different personalities. So what we'll do, like I said, we'll sift through all the applications with all their background, and we'll put them in front of you. We'll even give you questions if you need questions to ask on the interview process. And then after you're done with the 3 interviews, typically our success rate at that time is very, very high in the industry to pick one of those 3. If you want more individuals to interview, we'll put more candidates in front of you as well. So the onboarding takes less than a week. So for instance, once you raise your hand, you say, I love, let's say, Jane or Jim, then it takes literally probably about 3 days to get up and running. So it's very, very simple. And then we don't have any lock-in period at all. I'm a huge believer in not locking people up into contracts like cell phone, like a cell phone carrier does, because if you're not happy with my service, then I believe that, hey, move on, vice versa. That's the way I look at other services as well. It's my job to make sure that I do a great job for you. So that's the way. I may look at it a little different than some other people, but I think that's very, very important, being a service provider and an operator on the other side, because I also use my own service in my own business.
Awesome. So have you had companies hire, I guess, in even browsing your website, it seems that you have a VA for a lot of different tasks, as we talk about. And when you're trying to onboard a new company interested in hiring VAs, do they start out with 1 or 2 and then they see how it goes? And if they're beneficial, then they grow from there and potentially hiring more in different departments. How does that usually work?
Yeah, so we have companies that have started with 1 and then have grown to 20. We've had some individuals that start with 2. So it's all over the board, because we have all real estate professionals. We have, like I said, we have real estate agents that are different than real estate investors, that are different than multifamily operators, because they're all different tasks. We also have, bookkeeping VAs as well that help with all of the bookkeeping behind the scenes, because obviously, as you know, in the syndication world and a multifamily world, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of numbers going back and forth. So we also have virtual assistants that do those type of tasks as well.
Now, your primarily talent pool is sourced from the Philippines. Is that correct?
Correct. That is correct. Yep. We're 100% of the Philippines as of today.
As of today. Okay. Is there a time difference, time zone?
So it's a 12-hour time difference. It's really, so the customer service industry in the Philippines is obviously huge. There's a lot of huge companies here in the United States that outsource to the Philippines. So they work at night. So our daytime, we're in Eastern Standard Time. It's their nighttime. So they're very familiar, and they're very, that's commonplace for them to work at nights.
Got it. So they work nighttime here while we're here in the daytime in the States.
Correct. Yep. Very commonplace.
Interesting. Okay. Is there any other industries, and obviously this is a real estate podcast, but have you seen other industries pick up VAs for whatever facet of their business they're trying to plug a hole for?
Yeah, we actually have a whole medical division as well. We have over, I believe my numbers could be a little off right now, we have over 350 medical virtual assistants that work in different that work in different offices, like insurance verifications, prior authorizations, front desk triage, etc. So we do have a whole industry. In any type of industry you can think of. We also have a flooring company that uses 10 of our VAs, different types of tasks within their company. So absolutely, there's other industries out there that that definitely can use virtual assistants. So one of them that we specialize in 2 of them. One is the real estate side of it. The other one is the medical side. We also do have a marketing company that has, I think, 25 of our virtual assistants right now on the marketing side, TikTok videos, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. So in terms of, so you guys are managing the human resource component, you're managing the hiring process for your clients. I guess, how do you guys make money as a company?
Yeah, so how we make money, a little bit how we do it. It's kind of like same it's the compound effect. You ever read the book Compound Effect by Darren Hardy?
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's we hire at a certain amount and then we offer at X amount, right? So then you make the difference in between, and we have a whole management staff. We have, like I said, we have a sourcing recruiting team, we have a training team, we have placements, operations, HR, accounting, etc. That obviously encompasses all of our company. So what we do is we have a client, we bill X amount, we have a VA, and we pay Y amount. So that's typically a little bit of the background of how that goes.
So the only bill your client is getting is an invoice every month from you,
Correct.
and that's pretty much it. The VAs aren't billing, let's say Red Knight, my company, directly.
Correct.
It's all
Yeah,
going through you.
we take care of all that. We also do offer them some very, very good benefits on the side of HMO and things like that. So we have our stick rate for our virtual assistants is extremely, extremely high. It's higher than a lot of the industry.
Excellent. Awesome. So
Yep.
if someone wants to learn more, how can they find you, learn more about your company, and potentially move forward?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you can check us out on our website, like you gave earlier, revaglobal.com, revaglobal.com. Also, you can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're all over there. But definitely check out our website. There's a strategy session you could have set up with our admissions team, and just go over what tasks that you're looking to outsource, and we could help you along those lines.
Love it, love it. And we'll have a link to the website in our social media platform and iTunes description, so you can just click right on there. We'll also have a link to Bob's LinkedIn, as he mentioned, and some other, hyperlinks to reach out to Bob. So, yeah, really
Awesome.
appreciate you coming on the show today. Looking forward to staying in touch, and yeah, definitely interested to learn more.
Appreciate it. Well, thanks for having me. Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
Anthony.